All right, all right, all right. We are back. We are back. We are back. This is Matt and Puff Daddy, Puff
Yep.
Comics 83 in the building. My main man Sean, and we are here. We have compiled the top 25 most wild comic books of 2022. These are books that people completely lost their minds over. Now, whether they make a profit or they enjoy it, that's on them. But we're going to give you 25 of the most wild books of 2022. It's really in no particular order, but there is a one number one. And you all should know what that is without me having to tell y'all. If you've been following this thing all year long, Sean, you ready to get down to business, man?
Hey, I won't be surprised if some of these books end up on the "You Must Be on Out Your Damn Mind" segments we did throughout the year.
Yeah, that'll definitely be some of these books will definitely be a candidate for next year's edition of that. All right, so let's get this show on the road here. All right, here we go. First book out of the gate. This one hit was a late bloomer to the list this year, and that is the Batman Superman World's Finest number 10, the Paul McCartney variant, and as of right now, there hadn't theoretically been any sales because it's only been a week since the book has been out, so sales are starting to come to an end. But we can see right now we've got bids. We got a $48 bid here. We got a $27 bid, a $5 bid. We got a $33 bid, $21 bid. Now I want you to understand now, Sean. This is a book that I'm sure there had to be quite a few of these out there.
Yeah.
You know. But this is a trend I think we're going to see a lot of. This will be the first time you see a musician on this list too, by the way. But this is a trend. I think this is going to be the next thing that's going to be driven into the ground going into 2023.
I forgot. Is this a cover B variant or was this a exclusive?
It's a C. It's a C variant.
It's a cover C.
Yeah, yeah. So that means that most stores ordered C's though. If
yeah,
that's what I was saying. It had to be readily available.
It had to be.
Yeah, most stores would have had to order this. So I quite don't understand why people are paying 40, 48. Well, we all know why.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you can drive around a couple shops and spot some on the rack.
Yeah, so this will end tomorrow. I think this will probably top out at maybe 50 at most. I'm sure somebody probably tried to go over a buck, But this was a book that came in late on our list. I noticed it last week. Shout out to Brian McClay and Beyond. Was it the top 10 list that was on their top 10? I think it was number one, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was their number one book last week. And then I saw a couple of other YouTubers talk about this book. Now I just don't quite understand it. If people want to buy music books, I will give y'all a little something here. If y'all are interested, you might want to go get. I can't remember which Transformers it is, but it actually has the first cover appearance of Bruce Springsteen. A lot of people don't know.
I'm not even a fan of the ball, so I wouldn't bother.
So yeah, that is this book, and I'm gonna pull up my other list here. My other here. We're gonna go in. I'm gonna drop in number 24, which is Black Panther, the 2022 number 3, which is this book right here. This was another hot book. Let's see if we got the highest. This is my first time really using Go Collect. I just wanted to use it because they probably got a little bit of a more. No, I don't want to use that. We'll go back to that. Got a little bit of in-depth deal there. Let's see what we got here on sales. Yeah, so this is a book that it's been kind of all up over the place, man. And I'm not gonna go. Let's see. How many columns can I do? We do 100 columns, so we can get a good look at.
The funny thing about this book is I've seen more people talk about the variant. That was The one with Storm on the cover that I saw at the bottom on the list of variants. Go down.
Which one?
That
right here?
No, not that one.
Oh, you talking about this one back here in the back? Let me back out.
Yeah, that one. The one with Storm on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
That book I remember was pricey. You know.
Oh wow! You know I didn't realize.
See,
good googly man. I didn't realize that book was that expensive.
It's crazy. It was expensive. Like within the first week it came out, man, people was scrambling to get that book and paying high dollar for it.
Wow, the 1 year average is 836 for a 9.8. So it's yeah, and even 9.6 is a 264. Wow.
Yeah, because ain't nobody trying to. Because most you see is 9.8, 9.6. You don't see nothing below that.
Yeah, I think you see a sale of we see what there's two sales of an 8.5, but they're not up there, and there's another sale there of an 8, so it must have been outside that window. But wow, and it was probably one of these books that got cleaned and pressed or whatever, and probably got bumped up to a 9.8. So wow, that's remarkable. So I mean, even at that, the 9.9 is out there. This book is averaging give or take 40, 50. If you're paying 40, six. Somebody paid a 6. Somebody paid for a 6. So,
and there was a spec on this book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's Tosin. Is Tosin on this one? I can't remember. I can't remember what the key was on this. But yeah, there was something about this book.
Yeah, I know it was like a key issue, and people were scooping it up in droves.
Oh, Tosin. Yeah, first Tosin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was ahead of Wakanda Forever, so people were definitely trying to jump on anything that was considered a spec on the new run.
Yeah. Yep. So this book was a book that took off, man, and it's still, depending on who you talk to, it's still a book that's being sought after. People are getting prepared for the next Black Panther down the line. Let y'all have it, man. I'm not going even. I'm not even for to entertain that dance. Now, if I find one in a short box for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, then that's different. But I'm not paying this. So
exactly.
All right, number 23 on our list of books is one that needs no introduction. We're gonna go ahead and you'll see it when I put it in. West Coast Avengers, number 45. This book was one of the wild books of 2022. People, this was a $2-3 book. You don't believe me? Go look back at our Atlanta Comic Con video back in 2018.
Hey, you got that for like $3.
Yep, sure did. That was like my second or third one that day.
And it's crazy because this book was never that big until WandaVision came out.
Yeah,
in 2021.
Yep. I think this is a book that if you buy it now, you're completely overpaying for it.
Yeah, especially high grade.
Yeah. And so the yearly average for a high grade is $475. So you're looking at it right at a $500 book. And this is fair market value. And the fair market value right now is $280. That's because we're in a little bit of a slump. But that $280 at a show is still going to be $300, $350, $375. But I just find it remarkable, man, that this book went from $3 to $300 overnight.
Yep. You can get back then. You can get real good copies for cheap.
Yeah, I just find it to be quite amazing. If somebody's got a restored copy out there. Wow. So I actually had a restored copy of this.
And the funny thing about it is the White Vision is still out there in the MCU. After WandaVision, he hasn't appeared since, so he's still in play to come back. And when he come back, that book gonna be popping again.
Yeah, so it's another bounce. So this is a book that I would probably tell you if you really want it, look in your loan boxes, look in those dollar bins. Look for misplaced books. A lot of people discount misplaced books. Look for it to be misplaced, tucked away. Somebody was saying, "I'm going to come back to it," all that kind of good stuff. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't pay $200-$300 for this at all. I wouldn't. Yeah, this is one of those books that this year had us all scratching our head like, why is this book on this list? And so that is number uh 23. All right, number 22 is going to bring us up to the last few weeks of a book that we have seen pop up. It is the notorious BIG variant.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And
I'm
as of
surprised
today,
I'm surprised that's what 22.
yeah, as of today, we have had a sale. It is now we're starting to see these numbers come out now. These 9/8 people are getting them slabs back. They paying for that express. $390. $390 for this. It's a book that has sent collectors into delirium.
You know what? Remember the whole hip hop variant craze we had a couple years back. Those books were pretty reasonable prices. Then all of a sudden, they just kept creeping up and up in price and stuff. I think this is what people are looking at. Is like, those hip hop variants was going up in price, especially the Miles Morales Illmatic cover. So now they are jumping on anything hip hop related when it comes to these variants. And Big
Yeah.
is still popular. No matter how long he's been gone, it's the notorious Big, and collector items want it, hip hop fans want it, and people who collected those hip hop variants, even if they're not like 100% hip hop fans, they want it in their collection. So when that book was first announced, I remember like the hoopla of people can't wait for it to come out, and we talked about it on the show. We all agreed that it wasn't the best looking cover. It could have been a lot better, but we kind of knew that people was gonna jump all over this book, and the prices would be high after it came out.
Yeah, I think this is personally me long term looking at this, Sean. I think this book is probably going to it's going to fall in that 175 250 range if over time. Now it depends on how many of these come back 9/8 and all that, but we really won't be able to recap this until probably 7 months from now. So we have a better idea what this is. But if I had to make an educated guess, I'd say it's probably 175 250. It's probably where we're going to be at. I think 390 is a little high right now, but I think it's more or less people just trying to get to the book. So we'll see, because there could be another Big variant or something that pops up, and then everybody go to that one. This one gets left in the dust, and then
Yep.
yep. So yep, that is number 22 on the list, and number 21 is a book that was talked about as well. Hulk #1 from 2008. There's another book that it shot up out of nowhere for no reason. We didn't even see it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we didn't even see Red Hulk, man. We didn't even get to get no Red Hulk at all. So this book was went from, I know I paid at the time, I think I paid maybe 30 for mine, and then next thing I know, it was gone. It's gone. It was up. I probably have to say at least my book is probably right around here, man. But you're looking at a book that you go back about a year ago was 78. It's 100 now, depending on where you go. Whenever you see fair market value, that means wherever you go. A 9/8, it's still hanging tough at 324.25. But we've seen it go higher than that at one particular time. So this was definitely a book that people started looking for early in the year. I'd say probably in the spring, people were seeking this out.
And if they were smart, especially after the She-Hulk show, they better snag up that first red She-Hulk, later in that run.
Yeah. Yep. And so, we see the prices here. 9/8 are going to cost you depending on where you're going. Now, I think a good value if you really want to get a high grade book. And I've always had this. A 9/0 to 9/4 is just as good as a 9/8.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me. Unless you get like a black cover, a book that has a black cover to it, purple, yellow, reds, that's different. But a book like this, a 9/0, 9/2, 9/3. Excuse me, 9/0, 9/2, 9/4, 9/6 is just as fine.
Yeah, people only concern themselves with the 9.8 because 9.8 is the higher value, which means there's more money to be
Yeah,
made from a 9.8. So if they come back a 9.6 or something like that, they're like extremely disappointed because they know that they're not going to make that 9.8 money.
yeah, yeah. So, yep, yep. This was another one. Halt number one. All right. Next up, yes, I have to laugh because I know what's coming and you don't. But some of these books, I just laugh because I just remember the conversations. Next up, Captain America 354, a book that was a dollar book, and in certain cases, a quarter book, depending on where you were shopping at. Is now a $575 book. All right.
John Walker ain't worth that much.
And don't forget it. Don't forget we're gonna see him again. So
He ain't worth that much. Nah.
U.S. agent, baby. All right. So
Hey, and like you said, it was in dollar bins, quarter bins.
Yeah.
And I probably passed over that book multiple times because I just wasn't interested in U.S. agent.
Yeah. And now it's a premium. It's a premium.
But I guarantee you can still find that book out there for cheap.
Yeah, and
still find it for cheap.
And at its highest point, early this year, well, last year, but we all know last year was the boom of comic boom. 11.53. Somebody paid $1,000 for this book in a 9.8.
It's not worth it though.
Yeah,
like unless you plan on making back more than what you paid for, nobody's gonna be foolish enough to spend that much money on that book.
Yeah. Somebody did the best offer sale here. It was $8.49, so it just depends on what it sold for. But yeah, I'd say probably was about 600. They probably did whatever they could to get off of it. 850. They were in too deep. So this is a book, man. I just try to wait this out, man. If you just gotta have it out, I'd wait it out. But it was a book that made people go wild, man. It was a book that made people go ballistic. This next one, I can hear Al right now screaming before I even show it. Oh, wrong book, y'all. All right, we're gonna do this right here. Here we go. Thor 411.
That's a tough book to get though. Every time I see that book, is priced higher than what I want to pay for it.
I just I know what it is. I know who it is.
Yeah, it's the person on New Warriors, ain't it?
New Warriors, yeah. And I just I guess in my head I see this as like a $20, $25, $30 book at most. If for some weird reason, like you said, I go to these places and I see it $200, $300, $400. And I guess, seeing this book as a child, as a kid, I just was like, why is this book this expensive? Well, why is it so expensive? But nonetheless, Sean, it was a book that people are currently looking for.
And, if it was $20, $30 within the under 50 range, I might bite. Because despite the New Warriors, it's a fucking awesome cover.
Yeah.
I mean, the Juggernaut, the Thor hammer there. I mean, any cover with Juggernaut on it is guaranteed to be solid, from the Bronze Age all the way to the early 90s.
Yep. It's a classic 80s cover.
Yeah.
That it is. So, yep. Let's see. Let's take a look at this here. And at its highest point, this book sold this year. We're going to go back. Let me go back and just check. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. Yep. At the highest point, which was early this year, it sold for $476.49. And currently is on its way back up. It dipped all the way down at the lowest point. You could have got it for $228. and then it went back up. Now we're at 320.
And the
And as
funny
you
thing
see
is,
here,
I be seeing dealers sell it for like $80 raw.
yeah, I know. That's what I said. When I say fair market value, you have to keep in mind. You go to these shows, you're looking at 30% or whatever the fair market value is. So if it's 285, you can go ahead and add an extra 30%. That's probably what you're gonna see it for. If it's slabbed, and then if it's raw, you can just by cut it in half, and you'll still be paying. That's what you'll be paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $80 for this raw. But like this, if you're gonna buy it, just buy it graded, unless you want to read it. You know, which if you want to read it, then if you just really want to read it, then I suggest subscribing to my Marvel's online
Unlimited.
Yeah. So,
But like I said, you'll find somebody selling it lesser than what it is worth, and those are the ones that you're gonna, I'll take a mid grade copy. 9.8s don't bother me. I'll take that 6.5, a 5, as long as the cover's intact and the book look decent. I'll take it, and if it's a decent price, that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yep. All right, that is book number 19, and we're gonna keep it rolling. All right, next up we have Web of Spider-Man number 118. This just hit. It was a book.
I can imagine D-Runk watching this smiling.
Yeah. D-Runk is the one man I know that is smiling to the bank because he probably got 50 of these. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna sell off about 49 of them. But this is a book that was another book that you could have got for maybe $10, $5, even $1, depending on where you was at. I think I bought mine graded. I think I bought mine 9.8. I think I paid like $25 for it back in the day.
You know where I got this book from? Midtown Comics, 1997, when they first opened.
Wow.
It was in the back issue bin for like three and change.
Yeah.
I still got the sticker price on mine.
I got my old one in a long box now. Like I said, I bought one slab 9.8 for like $25 back in like 16. I was like, I'll buy this. And if anybody's interested, I am taking off.
Yeah.
But family value. Go ahead, brother.
I'll say this, man. The Clone Saga was terrible, but Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly was the best part of it.
Yeah, that's
and it is a great cover and it's a great suit. So yeah, if you're a Scarlet Spider fan, this is definitely something that you should have in your collection.
Yeah. At its highest point, this book was going for $1,000 back in September, and it's been on a somewhat slow decline. It's $567 now. It just goes to reiterate what I always say, or what we always say rather. Do not buy these books at the high point. You always want to get them at the low point. But if you do, went back a couple of years ago, as you can see here, it was at the low end of things. Mm-hmm. So, like I told you, I bought a 9.8 for $25. So, just look around.
It can be had.
It can be had. So, yeah, and you go down this list and you just see the, bang, 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 bang. All right. Number 17. We've got two books here. We're going to show one, then I'll show the second one. It was so good they decided they'd do it twice with two different colors.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. Oh, Batman. Batman 423. I'm trying to see if is this the Expo. Yeah, this is it. The Expo variant. People were going ballistic over this, and we could remember that we could not figure out. Well, why would you pay for that when you can go buy the actual original?
I'm not paying more money for a current foil variant at a con when I can just go dig in bins and pay decent money for a mid-grade copy of the original.
This is a classic example of FOMO, but it was so good. Sean, it was so good that they said, you know what, we're going to go back to the well. In less than 6 months, they released the gold edition.
Like they love the '90s foil gold. You got medals now. Like I'm like back then it was gimmick and they sucked us in because we were young and like oh foil cover and glossy cover and all that stuff. Now I'm like what the that's not even special to me no more.
Yeah,
The,
the whole foil deal I've outgrown it, man. I'm kind of tired
yeah,
of it personally.
so I can't see why people are paying top dollar for foil.
Once again, I'll say it again. If it was me and I was paying $425, I would just go get the 9.8 of the original, or at least the 8.5, because I'm not sure what a 9.8 in the original goes for, but at least the 8,
Yeah,
8.5, 9, 9.2. I'm sure $400. You talk to the right person, you could probably get that book for that. So, no, not for me, not for me, not for me. At its highest, oh, there you go. Y'all want to see? Sometimes it just does it for you. I don't even have to say anything. Y'all can look at that graph right there. And shout out to Go Collect, man. I'm starting using this a lot more often. We just see it right here play out in front of us. A book that is on the steep decline. At its highest, you could have paid for 16 just a couple of weeks ago. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah. So, people, be careful with these books that come out in cons, man. Try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Just wait till they cool off. Wait till they cool off, y'all. Wait until they cool off. All right, so here's a book that rightly people should have been going wild for. It's a book that I actually regret I did not get this book. Still haunts me to this day. Probably one of my covers of the year. It is the Catwoman 43, the classic, which is probably gonna go down as one of the top covers. I think I said it's gotta be one of the top covers of the year for me. The Souza Micah
Catwoman D cover.
Yeah,
1 for 25.
Yeah, the D cover. Yep. This one was a book that I wish I would have got. I'll just have to kind of wait it out, see if I can find one for maybe $50 at a show. But this is a book that people were clamoring for. This was the year. Catwoman had some great covers this year. As you saw, it went down and it's bouncing back up. So whoever got it down in here, man, you got it at a decent deal, especially if you got it graded.
Yeah.
And so this is a book that came out, man, and week after week after week after week after week, it was on our list, on the cover price list, and we saw it. And here we go. One of the covers of the year. Like I said, it's just a great cover. Souza Micah announced herself this year.
Oh yeah,
she put out some really good work this year.
I'm glad I met her at MegaCon. When she was there, because I got one of the Catwoman covers signed along with the Red Sonja. So she was pretty cool. Tired that day, but she was pretty cool. Yeah.
So Catwoman 43. Right now, that's a book that people should be going wild over. Now here's a book that had a few people going wild. We've got Strange Tales number 126. First appearance of Clea.
Mm-hmm.
And the first appearance of Dormammu. This was the one that was, you want to go wild over this, then go ahead and get ready to get the pocketbook out and get the checkbook. 9.8.
Now the funny thing about this book is we done already seen Dormammu in the first Doctor Strange movie. So there had to be a bit of a decline, not too deep of a decline, but a decline after that movie, where if you had the opportunity to get it for a good price after that movie dropped and came and went, then you should have gotten it at that low price. Because like you said, it's going to pop up again. The character is going to come back.
Yeah, and this is also a book that, anytime you deal with Silver Age, you already know you get ready to cut a check. And so anything high grade, you pretty much know you coming off the high end.
Yeah.
The last 9.8 sold in 2012, so that tells you how tough it is to even get this book in a high grade.
But if you're not a high grade enthusiast, and look at that, it was down for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at from 16 to about 19. You probably could have got this, man. Depending on where you was at, you might could have got this for 1800. Depending on who you were talking to and where you was at. This is a book you probably could have got for 1800, even less.
Didn't the movie come out at 16 or 17, something like
16, that? 17, yeah, right around in there, yeah. So after that movie, man, 19, 20,
went up.
That's it. And then you got the comic boom of last year, and the last, I guess high sale was 10 grand. And as you see right here, it was $8,040 $400 at Heritage. So that's pretty much the set standard there for that. So yeah, $10,000 will equal out. This is a classic example of why we always talk about a lot of times when we talk about Golden Age, Silver Age. These are books that you tend to do. And especially if it's a key like this, it tends to do fairly well. You don't have to deal with too much of the Batman 423ism, 4ism with these kind of books. But yeah, this is a book that you're probably the average person is probably going to be dealing with getting this book right down in here. I'd say probably about 5.0 all the way down. So that's just kind of looking at what you're looking to spend. Even a 0.5 goes for 150. Man. Whew. All right.
At 150 is in my wheelhouse. If I really want it.
If you really want it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you really want it. All right. Next up, Marvel Spotlight. Number 28.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Classic. Moon Knight, the first solo story. We all know why this was hot. Due to the show. 1 year average is around $3,000 for this at 9.8. I think I've got an 8.5. Here we go. And you see the steep boom. You see that it's dropped.
Damn.
Drop straight far
It went up and then crashed.
Yeah, it went straight up. And back in 19, look at this. This was in 19, so this is well, people. Moon Knight is a character that's normally popular across the board, but you just see how this is well before the comic boom, and then we got the 1200 back in August, November, and it just went whoop, pow, and somebody said, you know what, I'm not paying that much for this, and it just bottomed all the way out.
Shit, you see, Biggie Shack was able to get one for a good price.
Yeah. The last sale was 26. Yeah, it was. As of today, as a matter of fact, today, a 9.8 sold for $26.50. Wow. So somebody came out pretty good. I mean, I still think whoever sold that came out pretty good on that. Yeah. You remember when these books were going for like 30, 40, 75. I paid $75 for mine, and this is back in 16.
The only thing I got of Moon Knight is the first issue of his first ongoing. In terms of, I got some issues from that run.
I think Al got this man out of a dollar bin. If I can remember, yeah, I think he got this book. It's one of these Moon Knights he got out of a dollar bin. I can't remember if it's this one or the other one, the other Moon Knight story. But yeah, he got one of them out of the dollar bin. These are books that you can find.
Even the 90s Moon Knight books are going up, ticking up.
Yeah.
After the first appearance is expensive, this book is expensive, and Moon Knight one from the 80s is expensive. Now people going after that 90s run, and certain issues on that run is up in price.
Yeah. So I think that there's another one, man. I think that if you are patient and look around, this is a book I tell you to make sure you look around, go to some shows, go to check some eBay auctions, not eBay auctions, but IG auctions, Facebook. Look around. You might be able to find you a decent one, unless you just got to have the 9.8. Then if you got to have the 9.8, then of course got to come off that dollar. Got to come off that dollar. Yep. All right, number 13. Another character we saw this year. This book was wild at one point. It is Marvel. All new Marvel Now, .1, number 1. Why Marvel decided to go with that long ass name, I never understood that. I never understood
Brandon
why they wanted to do that. but first for Kamala Khan, and at its highest, which is you see here, this is a classic example of another example. Just I love this graph, man. I love it because you can just see it play out in front of you. Just love it. And at its highest, we're talking $1,200, and I remember this. Because I remember where I was when
2021.
21. Yep, I was at a store, man. I remember looking at my phone when I got the notification that this book was going through the roof, and I said, "What? Marvel .1? I couldn't believe it, And then it stayed up there for a while. It held its own, and then slowly it started its descent. And so now, Sean, look at this.
And it's funny that the show came out earlier this year while it was descending.
Yeah. So we're looking at right now a 9.8 for $500. Now let me preface this on a couple of these books. Some of these books are good buys at 9.8. So if you're looking at the highest of the high grade, this would probably be the time to start looking around for one. If you're looking for one at that stage, do I think it's worth that? Because I've already got it, so it doesn't suit me at all. But I would probably start trying to see if I could negotiate to find one a little bit lower. Personally,
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
I would negotiate.
Yeah, I think this is one that you might be able to. What you say, Sean? About 350, 300? I think
that was around my range. 350, 375.
Yeah, I think this is one that you could probably.
To think about $500, you could probably get 2 Bronze Age keys or a couple of Silver Age books.
Yeah,
around that time.
Yeah, you can actually get some major Silver Age. I know one right off the gate for 500. Yeah. You could get right off the top of my head. You can get you any humans for that if you
I might be able to get a good mid-grade first Black Panther.
Yeah.
For around that 500-600 range.
Yeah, you can get you a 50 Spider-Man for in that price range. I know for a fact you can. I just saw Rhino the other day with 200. So yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can get that at a decent price, and that's what we try to tell everybody. It's just we're not just beating these books up or whatever. We want people to see that the options of how you collect how you want to collect. But if you're looking at long term or holding or wanting to have something that down the line, if you want to cash in, you've got something that holds a little value. That's not to say that this won't hold any value down the line.
Yeah,
like I said, I still think this is a good buy. I just would not pay an absorbent amount for this book. I like Kamala Khan, so
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I just don't think that you should be paying way up here at $1,800 for this. There's a lot more books that $1,800,
especially for an oddity of a book. Like it's her first appearance, but I know it's got a couple of stories in there because it's a .1, but it's such an oddity. When you buy a book, it's all new Marvel now .1, and it's just weird. Like I'd rather a first appearance be like a normal issue or something instead of a specialty issue.
I think this price correction is a good thing. It's like I said this on our show on our one of our shows this month. Is I think that the market is going. It was either on our show, one of the shows. It might have been Big and Shaq show. Where I think the market is going back to pre-2016, 2017 levels, and that's a good thing. Because that's when you can actually go out and buy what you want, without having to, pay an exorbitant amount for a book that's really, you have to question yourself, is it really worth that much? And as we see here, the market is dictating that no, it's not. So whether we'll see it down here again, 199, 200, and as I stated, here you go, right around there, and it's not too far away. So yeah, we're going to be interested. This is one I'll probably keep an eye on going into 2023. Once you see this book over here in this area, and that's when you can, start striking while the iron's hot, because if this is 9.8, it's got to be cheaper raw. So, just throwing it out there to you. All right. We are at number 12. Number 12, New Avengers, number 7. So this was This was one that was hot and people were on the lookout for. All right. All right. And here we go. Back 10 years ago, this was probably a $25 book, which is actually was less than that. This is
Really?
this was 25 was where it was in 2013. This was a $5 book because I got this book. I got multiple copies of this book from the book nook. Multiple copies. Me and Larry. Larry tell you, we used to see this book all the time. We would just pick it up. And so you start watching here, and then start rumblings about the MCU. This is all MCU talk. When you see 20 above, this is all MCU spec talk here. And then we get all the way up to the highest level, $500, Sean. $500 for this. Early this year, $500. This was right at the height.
Illuminati. It's $500. We just talked about $500.
Yeah. $500. And then now this book is $96.35.
Which means I can negotiate to get it lower.
Yep. Now this just I had to factor in. Now this is and it sold this week, as a matter of fact. Sean, look at this. 9.8 sold just before Christmas at $90. $90. Yeah, $90 is where you could have got this book. And it looks like it's back on this train heading this way. This is one I might wait on.
See if it dropped down a little more.
Yep. I think you might get a little bit more. Because somebody here got a really good deal because they got it at 71, which is about what, I'd say it's about a $50 to $75 book personally. Graded, So, yep, this is another one that people were clamoring for this year. Number 11 is one that needs no introduction. One that I could actually put this a little higher if I really wanted to. Like I said, this is just, it's all kind of a little bit all over the place. Ultimate Fallout 4.
Got staples.
You'll see that later on. It's right here. Don't worry, it's lurking. It's
lurking. It's sad that whole acetate shit, like it put a stain on this book for all the wrong reasons. It's a variant acetate, whatever. But now when you see this book now, the only thing that comes to mind is that damn acetate controversy bullshit.
Yep. So here we go. Like I said, this book needs no introduction. We all know this book was all over the place. At one point, we had a local LCS selling it for $1,000. So, recently, and I'm pretty sure
that's just about right with that graph.
Yeah, this is going to be this is a book that's going to kind of be all over the place, and a lot of this is because we just had the trailer drop 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So,
but the graph hit it right on the nail. Look how low it was for a good while before it just spiked up.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I've messed around. I actually thought I had this book. I've got the second print, which I'm actually better off. I actually like the second print better. But you could have got this book for $75, $80, $100. I know that.
I could have gotten it at when my LCS had it at a little small con. That was one of the books they had. I could have gotten it from them because they were only holding it for the con. And as soon as I got there, somebody already scooped it. It was $50, and I knew if being my LCS, I would have got a discount because I'm a loyal customer.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck, I missed out on that."
Yeah. Yeah, this is one that I'm just gonna have to wait this thing out. I'm gonna have to try to wait this thing out, man, and 75, 70656 to be where I'm at. I'm not gonna do that dance right there, man. That is, if I'm paying $1,800, y'all know how I roll. If y'all watch this channel long enough, y'all know how I roll. If I'm paying $1,800 for a book, y'all know how I roll. But to each his own. But at its highest, $32.58. $32.58 is where it was at early this year in February. And I'd have to, if I had to guess, I'd probably say you're gonna in the next 6 months you're probably gonna see that number roll back up again, especially as we get closer and closer to the movie. So
Yep.
yeah, I think Miles is a safe bet down the line. So I think whatever you do, I think you're in pretty good shape here. All right, we are now officially at number 10. This is another book that people started going wild for at the beginning of the year. What if Planet Hulk #1 first appearance? What's the first appearance of Scar? Ain't it first appearance of Scar in this one?
Is it?
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it is first appearance of Scar. Y'all can correct this in the chat. And look at this. This graph sums it all the way up. Look at this. 1 minute is down here. Next minute it's over there. Then it's back down to $69. Up, down, up, down, up. Highest point was $827.
And what year was that?
This is in 21. This is in 21. Go back. Yeah, so we're looking at June 21. Then it knocked off 755, excuse me, cooled off a more, went back up, dropped, went back up again, went down, went back up, 725 in October. Now it's back down. It's back down to 228. People saw Scar and said, oh, hell no, I can't get behind that. And this is where we at. And on the 16th of this month, it sold for $229. People don't buy into the FOMO.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, this is a book. This is what you call the erratic book, and this is one I would stay far away from unless I'm paying $20, $25 for. You pulling it out of a loan box at most. Yeah, nope. I mean, you see, you can just it reflects it here. The prices are just all over the place. Yeah, this is one I stay far away from. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. All right,
number 9. Really think of nothing special of the character.
Yeah, I just no. Nope.
All right, that's number 9.
Incredible Hulk.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, Thunderbolts. The book I paid $25 for at a car.
I paid cover price off the rack when that first came out. And the funny thing about this book, I wasn't even buying Hulk like that. I really wasn't buying the Hulk comics like that. But I saw that cover, Hulk holding up some jabroni like he about to smash him, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Let me pick this up. And I didn't think that this book would be that important because I didn't think Thunderbolts would become any important. I even got the first issue of Thunderbolts, and I'll admit that run was pretty good by Kurt Busiek, but I did not think Thunderbolts would become what it was, by the 2000s.
Yeah,
I was like every time because I kind of stopped reading it around the 40s, and then like a couple years later, I'm like, man, Thunderbolts still running? It's in the hundreds. How's that?
Yep. Well, Thunderbolts is here. And this is a book that has been a little bit all over the place as well. And this is a book that I think is a book that I will kind of pump the brakes on. If you just got to have it, I would say wait a little bit. Wait for it to drop. Strike while the iron's hot. And once again, the graph does not lie. This book was in the bottom for the longest. And this is great. People, for those who are tuning in or just watching, these are we talking 9/8. We talking 9/8. Now we could do an overview. Let's do an overview. See if do I get a graph with? No, I don't get a graph with that one. So I have to click on it. But this is the 9/8. So we're talking 9/8. We're doing the highest of the high. But at its highest, you could have gotten this book for let me see how to do it. So
yeah, what was the highest?
$1,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, $1,000. That's 21. That's also that's also the year of the year of the comic boom. So fast forward over to this year, and as you see here, January You've lost half of what you paid for it. So, and it just keeps going down. Down, down, do you dance? Do you dance? $457.80 is where we are. Last sale was 2 days ago for $467. This is why you don't buy in the FOMO, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy in the FOMO. And it's gonna be interesting to see where that number goes in the next 3 to 6 months. So we'll see.
Supposed to get the movie.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what happens with that. All right. Shout out to Remo. This next book is a book that Remo was in on the ground floor on. 8 Billion Genies.
Talk about over. I think this book is overrated just on all the hype it got with the covers and all that stuff. It may be a great story. I have not read it yet, and I may pick up the trade, but I got sick of seeing all the covers of that book. After the first couple months.
Yeah, that was this book is a classic example of too many covitis. And like I said, Remo got in on the ground floor. Kudos to him. And he got in on the ground floor. Then the sky's the limit, as 112 would say. And so y'all like that reference, don't you? All right, here we go. Another Sean. The graph does not lie. The graph does not lie, my friend. Once again, we see it play out in front of us over and over. There's a theme here. If y'all notice this, y'all notice this theme? All these books are going just like this. So at its highest, this book sold for $183 back in August. It started off at $133, which is probably what was set when the book first came out due to demand. Then it peaked out at $183, $172. October, we see it. November, we feel it. In December, please, somebody come get me. Somebody save me. I don't overpaid. And now we're down to $90. So this one is just going down. So I would just wait for this to get all the way low as you can go. You see this for a 9.8 at a show for $50, $45, then you go ahead and pick it up. Because that'll save you on getting it graded. So, yeah.
You see if you see it for 50 or 9.8, negotiate it, get it down.
Yeah. So, this is a book people are going butt wild over. I'm going to go do a special look on this one because they had so many covers. Let's go and look at the Nintendo variant.
They were blowing that cover up.
Yeah. This was a 9.8 that had 24 sales. And here we go again, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Another classic example of the dippage. So at its highest, it was sold for $7.99. Somebody paid $800 for this book when it first dropped.
Hey, $7.99 is going to be the price of consoles, man.
Yeah, I mean you could have got a PlayStation 5 in 3 games.
Yeah.
Here you go, and yeah. So half of what you paid for it is this is where we at, man. So yeah.
I would rather just buy the Super Mario 3 comic.
That's me. I'd rather just get a Nintendo variant, a straight Nintendo variant with Mario on the cover.
But the Super Mario 3 comic with the Super Mario 3 cover, I'd rather get that. And I saw that at the comic show.
Or I just buy Blip. I just go buy Blip. Number 1, number 3, whatever it is. I'd rather just buy that since the first appearance of it. I'm kind of burnt out on all of these homage covers, me personally.
Yeah, they doing way too much.
All right, here we go. This is another one. Hercules. Yeah, Hercules. Hercules versus Hercules. Thor versus Hercules. This was a book that was ballistic. We all know why. Love and Thunder, Love and Blunder.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to. Brother, anybody buying this book over 9.0 was paying top dollar. Top dollar. Well, number one, you got is what, Bronze Age? No, silver,
Oh, that's silver.
silver. Some weird reason, I guess I was looking at the font, thinking in my head is bronze.
That's Journey into Mystery.
Yeah, yeah.
That annual
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
First annual. So yeah, that.
Yeah, that's Journey to Mystery. So now I know. Like I told you, these Silver Age books gonna bust you over the head. So we're gonna. Matter of fact, the last highest grade was a 9.6, which sold back in 2016. That should tell you all you need to know. And that probably was a pedigree sale. That's usually how when I look at books way up here like this in old books, Sean, I always go, it's a pedigree. I don't even have to look. I already know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But a 9.0 sold for $7,500. This is a book that's going up. Probably because people who are ardent collectors of Journey to Mystery. They're probably thinking to themselves, hell, I got to complete this run and I got to get this book ASAP because I don't want to have a little bit of that werewolf by nightus. Well, I can't. I won't be able to get to it. At its lowest, back in 2000, let's look at 2004. Look at these prices way back then. 2004, it sold for $418.85, and it just kind of stayed down in there, kind of just bounced back and forth, and then it went bam. This year. Yeah, this year it sold for $7,400. Which is outstanding.
So that post credit scene really had people skywalking for this book.
Yeah. And and it hadn't moved. So this book is still sitting there. We can look down here at our sold charts here. You see 88 back in August, which is what we just saw, 7,400, July 4,500, and so on. And it has not moved. So this book is locked in right here. And if a 9.8 comes to market, it's lights out, bro. Whoever got the 9.8, like I said, it's 9 times out of 10, it's a pedigree. But whoever has it, man, is sitting on something pretty.
Imagine busting out that 9.8 on the hunt. Tony Sanders, the hunt. That's a slab shot right there. You winning the damn championship.
Yeah. So, yep. This is one to keep an eye on. I'd almost have to say this is probably going to go a little bit higher over time due to age, cover. It's a white cover, which is always hard to get a 9.8 in. White cover, popular character, and you got a monumental battle. All the ingredients point to a book that's actually worth something.
And again, if you're gonna invest into books, Silver Age books, especially books that you want in your collection in terms of top tier first appearances, top tier characters and stuff, use your money wisely and sell off books and stuff to try and aim for this. It may be super high, but that don't mean that just because it's 9.6 or something like that, you can still get a reasonable price for a lower grade copy. Low mid grade, you might still be able to get one for like maybe $1,000, something like that, and it's still a great investment.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll do this. We'll go down to mid grade, and this is where we at with mid grade prices. So mid grade is a little bit on the dip. It's kind of we're seeing a trend where this book is kind of starting to go up a little bit. So here it's a 658.13.
Yep.
So that's more than less than what you. That's more than half of what you would pay.
Yeah.
And let's just be real. Most of these books it's tough to find this in mid grade anyway. At least I hadn't seen it in mid grade. So most times you're gonna probably find this book in that four anywhere from a 4.
It's gonna be an expensive book regardless. Yeah. Like I was just using 1,000 as a way to say, because if you look at 1,000 might be a 0.1 or something like that, real low grade. Because it's the first annual for Journey into Mystery. That you gotta add in the fact that first Hercules, first annual. So that's twice the value of the book.
Yep. And that's another example of why when you buy those these books here, man, these Silver Age books, older books, man, it's just a better place to park your money. Now I'm not giving financial advice, but I'm just saying if you're collecting, this is probably a better spot where you want to go. So all right, cool, man. Cool. Like I said, there's some books that actually belong on this list. Then there's some books that's like, what in the world? Now this is another one. This next book is a book I've seen a lot of content creators pay the price on, and it's a heartbreaker, man. Because I saw many people buying this book for astronomical prices, and so this is a book that I always tell people, man. Like, this is a cautionary tale of do not buy at the high. This is a book you do not buy at the highest point. You could have got this book for 40, 45, 50, 60, 65, 70. And I saw people dropping top dollar on it. Ladies and gentlemen, number 6 on the list, Darth Vader. Number 3, first appearance, Dr. Afra.
I'm still trying to figure out what her importance is going to be.
It's
Like
just,
what
man.
I know that Disney is planning on incorporating her in one of these upcoming Star Wars shows. That's what everybody is waiting on. They waiting on Disney to incorporate Dr. Afra into one of these shows, so people like, see, now it's worth it. Dr. Afra's going to be on the show. Me personally, I don't care about Dr. Afra. Like I remember when she first appeared and people was, hyping up that book, and I'm like, I don't really see the importance of the character. And even then, it's like she's not going to add anything long term because she's not a part of future Star Wars stories. They're just going to retcon stuff to make her feel important.
Yeah. Yep. And the price reflected that at one point that people were trying to make her feel important. It was $500. And I just sat back and watched this one because I enjoyed it because I've got the first, second, third, and I think the fourth print of this book. And I had peanuts on it. So I was just watching the fireworks from the sideline, and people paying $500. And I saw one particular content creator. He was 38 hot. He had paid over for it on a 9.8. And classic example. I'll say it again. It's a running joke now, but I'll say it. If you got $500 and you have nowhere to spend it, you're unsure and uncertain, reach out to the Comic Hall crew on Instagram and let me know your trouble, and we'll be more than glad to provide you with a list of 10 to 15 books that you can spend $500 on, and I guarantee you'll be in decent shape.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you, I saw a Golden Age book go for $3,800 this past weekend in a 2. So there you go, $291. And this is a book. This is a book I'd say probably go to a show and negotiate low on. You might be able to get it for 200, 150. Yeah, this is the one I think people are going to try to come off of in the next few months, especially if there's no news from Dr. Afra at all in the next 6 months. This is one that people are.
They dying to hear some news.
Yeah, the first piece of news from this, and it's gonna be.
They waiting for that news to happen so they can post it on eBay and then screenshot the news article and put it in there. So. OBO. Yep. All right, Sean, we are in our top 5 books. We're in our top 5 now. Let's roll. All right, this one, number 5. This was a book that had people going shit crazy. People were going ballistic. There were fires in the street. Timeless. Number 1. Ramos variant. This is a book that people were looking out for. I mean, this was on the list, after Loki. It was just wow. People were going crazy over this, And then, what do we see? We see the graphic does not lie. And at its highest, 262 back in February, and we cruised all the way down here to $51. You see this? $51 is what people were paying. This was last month, and now it's up to 84. People, you can find this cheap. You just go buy this raw. Don't be buying this graded. That's not. It's nothing. This is not a book that's going to be up the totem pole down the line. No. Nope. Can't work with it, Sean. Can't work with it. But this was a book. That was a wild book at one time this year. This was a book that we talked about this book at least, 6 weeks in a row? At least 6 to 7 weeks in a row. And usually, we talk about how comics dictate what happens on the TV show, but sometimes it'd be the opposite, where the TV show dictate the comics when they throw these variants and take certain stuff from the TV shows and write them into the comic books to make them canon, or at least try and make it fit the narrative of what TV show did to try and get new readers to read the comics. But with this case, I'm not a fan of, more or less changing the comics to fit what they told in the MCU. I'd rather my comics let the comic creators tell their stories without trying to shoehorn MCU type stuff into the comic book stories. And, while this is a variant, it's also the case of using what was popular in the MCU and try and capitalize on it by having these variants. And this is nothing new with Marvel. They've done it for years. And, sometimes we all fall for it, but we ain't falling for it paying high prices for this book.
Yeah. I'm gonna start using this in 23 MCU manipulation. That's gonna be a new term for 23 MCU manipulation. This is a classic example of it right here. So I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. If you want it just to have it for your PC, knock yourself out. Just be aware of the price. I'd say wait a little bit low. Let the bottom, as you see here, it's kind of down. It might go up, and I think it's gonna probably go back down again, unless he pops up. So. All right, I forgot to get the number on this, but I think I know which one it is. It's a Black Panther. Which one? I know it when I see it. 2022. I forgot to get the number on that. Doggone it.
It was from this year? This month?
Yeah, I just can't remember what number it was now.
Well, we talked about issue 3.
Yeah, we talked about issue 3. It was another one. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me see. 2020.
I think that's it. That one.
Yeah, I gotta remember which issue it was now. It might have been. I might have had that twice on here. Then that might have been what it was. It might have been one of the variants. That's probably what it was. It was that other variant that we showed. Yeah. So we'll bypass that. So I think that's what it was the variant.
Yeah, the variant. The variant was more expensive.
Yeah. All right. So. All right, so we'll move on. Number 3 on our list. Number 3 on our list. This is correct. Marvel Team Up. Number 12.
Bro, I got that book, but the problem with my copy is very low grade. It's like a chunk is chewed out on the bottom of it.
Yeah, this was, excuse me, you know what? Not 12. I'm sorry. Got it. I copied the wrong one. Copied the wrong one, y'all.
Oh, man.
Copied the wrong one. Here we go. The right one. The right one. We all know. First appearance of the Frogman. The book that shot this up off of a trailer of a character that didn't even stay in the episode that long. And people were paying at one point. As we see, the graph is not lying. The graph is not lying.
Bro, it went up and down the same.
I told you, boy, I love this thing here, man. This graph does not lie. Look where it was at $54. Now, even that was high price. $54.
That's way too much.
Yeah, even 9.8. Even back then. I guess it's because it's 121. It's in them hundreds, and the hundreds are tough to find in this run. But just, here we go. Let's just look at it. Just watch it. Highest price people were paying for this was Sunshine paid $1,000. $1,000 back in June. Somebody paid for this.
Shinebone, man.
Who pays $1,000 for the first appearance of Frogman? So this is a classic example of the FOMO.
Wait.
This is that $1,000. This is why this is in our top 3. Wild. Top 25. Wow. This is number 3 on the list. Frogman. All the way down to $172.
Can't even get a return on investment in that.
Yeah. This is going to be bottoming out like when Milli Vanilli got found out.
Girl, you know it's true.
Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's.
Ooh,
Girl, you
ooh,
know it's.
ooh, I love you.
And they rock the stage just like that.
Somebody still got the vinyls to that.
Yeah. But this right here, man. And there has not been a sale since October. So that tells you all you need to know. So the hype train has cooled off on that, and it's probably not going to go anywhere else.
That went up and crashed soon as it went up.
Yeah.
People saw that somebody paid $1,000. Like, no, backed away from that. But
yeah, no. That was the old Drake meme. Like, I want that, man. We don't want that. Wow, that's rough, man. Woo! Rough. Man. Beware the FOMO. Beware of the FOMO. All right. Number 2.
Woo!
All right, number 2 on this list. Wow, top 25 most wild comic books for 2022. Look no further than Wolverine 88. The key, one of the cornerstones of the dollar box. This is a book that everybody in the comic book community already had a copy of this. So I don't even know why this was even going up, because everybody had a copy of it.
You know how I got my copy? Remember in Toys R Us when they had those packs of comics?
Yep. The little plastic packs. Yep.
That was on the front of it, of that pack. And I was like, yeah, I need that.
Yeah. This was one of the first comic books. I remember when I got into comic books heavy. This was one of the first books I bought. I remember this matter of fact, this is one of the first books I bought with my own money. From cutting grass. With this book right here. I still got my regular copy.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And I hope nobody's paying even more for the non-deluxe edition. So there's a deluxe edition, and then there's the non-deluxe.
We're gonna go to that in just a second. I saw it too. We're gonna go to that, but let's look at this right here. $1,300 last year. Somebody paid $1,300 for this book last year.
It blew up last year like that?
Yeah, $1,200.
Jesus.
And so we're gonna go all the way down. And as of right now, we'll do so right quick. There we go. $382.87, which is still astronomical. That is astronomical.
Go to where it went up at that before that. No. No, that the high point there. What was it?
$489.
That's November. Then go before that.
$575.
And what was that high point?
$675.
So 4 months ago, it was $675, and then just went downhill.
Yep.
And I'm like, remember when you made that post on the crew page?
Yeah.
You saw the selling for $100?
Yeah, $100. Raw, naked.
I'm like, that book ain't worth. I don't like
the book is not
just because of the whole Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds thing with them saying, "Oh, we're coming back." People start skyrocketing that book for no reason. It may be the first time they teamed up, or the first time that they appeared in that book, but it don't mean that book's a skyrocket in price. It's not a key issue in my eyes. A key issue is a first appearance.
Book is $10 at best. At best, graded, I might pay $15-$20 if it's graded, but no, $300. No. This is one that no go. So we're gonna go and we're gonna give you a bonus on this. We're gonna go to the deluxe edition, and the deluxe edition. Here we go. You got it. Same problem. Last one that sold for 402. So it's virtually almost not even a difference in the two,
Wow.
isn't it?
Wow.
All right, so we are now down to number one. We have a tie, ladies and gentlemen, for number one. We have a tie for number one. If I do an honorable mention on this, I didn't do one, but I would tell you it would be She-Hulk number one would be the honorable mention for the year. I think that book was was that was a good case of all over the place with that book. But number one is going to be a book that we know very well. We saw it. A lot of people were looking for this book at one point. A lot of people realized what it was and put the brakes on and literally turned the comic book community on top of his head. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Ultimate Fallout 4. I don't even know if they even got it on here. I don't even know if it's on here. The Crane variant. Let's see. I don't even think it's on here. Let's see if it's on here. They may not even recognize it. That's the bad part. Right? Let's see. They may not even recognize it. Oh my goodness. I don't even think they recognize it. But number one, I'll put it down here.
Ain't that Black Flag? Oh, that's a facsimile. Ain't that facsimile?
Virgin facsimile? No. That's the NYC one. Black facsimile. I think this might be it. No, that's not it. That's the Black Flag.
Either way, it was a complete
shit show.
Joke. It was a complete joke, man.
That book, and I'll tell you what, if it don't pop up here, we'll just do it this way. We'll go over to eBay. We're going to make a concession. We're going to go right over to eBay. And we're going to look at Ultimate Fallout variant, which last day is on our list. And here we go. Let's go look at. We'll pull up sale. We're gonna do it this way.
Jesus.
And here we go. So here we go. This book, at its highest, was what, $3,000, $4,000 at one point. We saw this going for thousands. And people, we heard stories of fighting. We heard cutting. We heard whatnot specialists upset they didn't get one.
Influencers. I did a whole episode talking about them.
Yeah. Shout out to the brother Thorough for in-depth analysis on this. I just think
nonstop.
Nonstop, round the clock, Comic News Network over there at Thorough, and to other content creators who provide us with great memes on Instagram of this whole fiasco. And this was a book that really had me shaking my head this year. And I just could not understand what the hell
was ridiculous. The people were paying prices so ridiculous that it cost more than the fucking original Ultimate Fallout 4.
That's what was crazy, because when I saw people paying $2,000 and $3,000, I was just like, bro, you can go be buying, for all these folks that complain about Hulk 181, you could have bought two of them for that.
Yeah. Now, it just makes no sense.
Yeah, now look at what it's selling for now, $255 measly dollars. And it's got the strong, and that's with a strong green label. Powerhouse, Powerhouse.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing put a massive stain on the comic book community when it came to people getting this book. All those influencers cutting the lines, and then Black Flag themselves were saying, we're gonna raise the price on the book. After the influencers came and took all the copies, now you want to raise the price on the books for the regular folk? Like, come on, man. That shit was just horrible.
Yeah.
And then you got Clayton Crane, and I've met Crane at MegaCon last in 2021, his sig prices are ridiculous for his rainbow signature, man. So I'm like, can you imagine paying top dollar for that book and then paying top dollar for his signature?
Yeah. So you got the double whammy, man, and having to pay to go to the show.
And then you gotta get the slabs and CGC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
Somebody bought a 10 back in November for $600.
Look at all those green labels.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And people are still willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Still willing to pay for it.
Dark days, man.
And CGC took a hit too after that.
Yeah, they did.
Like you said, they was giving out 10s.
Yeah. 10s on that, you know. And then last but not least, this is a book that most people should have already know exactly what this is. This is probably that if that was not the top book of the year, then you already you know the next book is gonna be the one. This one, it was only one book that could top that this year.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that is another Spider-Man book. And it's not on here yet because I don't even think they had a sale for it yet because I don't think it's going to CGC yet. But we can go back over here to eBay. We can easily get one. Look over here. And we'll go right now and look it up. And here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Going through the same thing. Here we go again. December 10th. 1850.
Unbelievable.
Eminem signed in hand. Signed 1600. Signed 1400. Signed 950. 799. 600. Best off accepted. Top dollar. Top dollar. Top dollar. You heard rumblings. People saying I was sitting online. I refreshed, sold out. The app was closed out on me.
You said they went to buy. Soon as it was available, they couldn't buy now. It was sold out.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah. Sold out. So nobody really knows how many is actually really out there. But
and then you gotta account for the ones that came damaged in the mail.
Yeah.
They ain't know how the package coming.
Nope, the bad packaging, yeah. Bad packaging, man. So
man.
This book here, man. Like I said, if it topped Acetate Gate, then it Acetate Gate. It was hard trying to pick the number one book, but I had to say this is probably just off the sheer madness that it was the last 3 weeks, last month rather.
This was on the list for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna be on there this week. It's probably gonna be on there again this week. But this is a book that it's just living in. I think this book has set a precedent for this whole new movement with artist-owned covers. So I just want Marvel to know right now, man, if please email me at Comic Hall Crew or either Sean when y'all decide to come out with the Sade variant.
Yo,
so whenever y'all get the Sade variant, y'all let me know so I can go ahead and
now. If they do a Sade variant, I don't even want her with a superhero on the cover. I just need Sade.
That's it. Sade on the cover. That's it, man. The Lovers Rock variant. That's all we need.
That's it.
So Diamond Life variant. Yep. But this was it, man. This was the number one book of the most wild book of 2022, and we just went through 25 crazy books, and I had to keep it. It was hard to be keeping it at 25. To be honest with you, because I could have went up to 50, because that's how wild it was this year. But y'all just got a dose of some of the most wildest books that we saw this year in the comic book community. I can only imagine what's on the horizon. 23.
I'm looking forward to that Tupac variant when they bring that out.
Oh yeah, the All Eyes on Me special. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting when that one drops. Because it's coming. You know if that's coming. It
was a Spider-Man book. They did the All Eyes on Me hip hop variant.
Yeah. We're gonna get a non-variant, Hip Boy variant.
King
Disease variant. We'll get they're gonna say, you know what, fuck it. We're just gonna do the hip hop variants all over again. What should I tell you? we'll probably get a whole nother batch of hip hop variants all over again.
Shit.
Yeah,
We
because people
do
eating it up, man.
some Mega Montana variants called Mega.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed this comprehensive list of the most top 25 wild books that affected the comic community this year. And we will see you all in 2023. Sean, appreciate you joining me, my man.
Always, man. It was great.
Yep.
It was great doing this list.
Yeah, great to see the madness unfold again. And it was funny
Oh man.
to watch these books that we saw on the list over and over and over, rant after rant,
Anytime there's madness, man, we need a Macho Man soundbite for that, man.
Yeah, the cream rises to the top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we all want to wish you a happy new year. Be safe out there, and we will see you all in 2023. Peace.
Happy New Year, y'all. Peace out.